Pieces, or is this Pisces? Announcement from Lucid Dream Science Premier Photography Club. We're receiving an overwhelming number of membership requests, all thanks to your passionate participation. To show our gratitude, we're hosting another event to beat the heat. You'll be photographing fish swimming in the Great Desert, fish in a sandy desert. Well, surprise, surprise, the desert was once a vast sea before the final war. Before the final war. Tap the request and check your data bank. Remember, a special reward awaits the one who sends us photographs of all of the fish. You know, the world building of this game is in such a fucking conflict, like a logical conflict with some of these statements. Like, Oracle himself, like, at the point of the game when he tells us where the Alpha Naitiva is, when we are looking for, you know, Raven in the Matrix 11 sector, he says in the presence chamber that in the old city center, in his own words, like Matrix 11 and the Great Desert used to be nearby the old city center. So how in the heck was there an old city center of Zion in that area after the final war? Like, the amount of time it takes for them to construct something like that, especially when people are, you know, slowly being put into the cradle after, like, as well, it's just, it's not possible. Isn't it? It's just video game logic. Too much time would go into constructing, like, this entire area. Like, have you seen how big, like, this part of Zion is, where they are, like... I mean, maybe the part of Zion that we know as Zion from the game, maybe that is some, like, upper part of Zion, and the main part of Zion was always, like, down in the lower, like, Great Desert area, you know, where the massive wall is that we see from Matrix 11 when you do, like, that quest part of the game. But even then, like, before the final war, before the colony extinction event, like, the desert was a sea. But then, to Adam's own words, the area known as the Great Desert used to be a lush forest. So is it a lush forest and a sea? Or is that even in conflict in on itself? And then also, how the hell was the city center built there after the final war as well? Like, that's the only feasible time that the city center makes sense. Actually, no, there is... No, wait, hold up. No, this doesn't make sense. I was gonna say, like, maybe the massive walls that are in the Great Desert that we see from the Matrix 11, like, sector of the game when we do that part of the game. Maybe those massive walls are dams. Maybe they're like dam walls. Maybe the ocean was on the other side of the dam, and that's what we see. But there's a problem with that. The city center of the Great Desert, I'm assuming that is part of the Zion's, like, actual, like, ruins of the old, like, Zion center. So if that is the case, that is not inside of the barricades, you know, that are supposed to keep the ocean waves out and the, you know, tsunamis and that kind of stuff, you know. So there's, like, an inconsistency with the game's world building with that as well. It just boggles my mind. It does. It really does.
It was much harder finding the skulls than actually fighting them.
It's frustrating. It actually is. Like, I feel like this game's storytelling and this game's world building is just, it's in conflict with itself. That's how I feel about it. It's like, it's so, like, frustratingly, like, in conflict with itself that it feels like it's just straight up, like, bad writing at times. Then again, maybe if I, like, sit back and I, like, indulge on the game's, like, you know, written material for some amount of time, and I, like, you know, piece together, like, as carefully as I can some of the events in the game and the timelines, maybe I would be able to find some, like, possible sense as to how this could potentially be, like, set up. But as of right now, it's just... With how much I know historically about this game's world building, that just seems like an inconsistency. Even like with acute information like that, it just seems like it can't work together. Anyway, I'm gonna be back in a moment. I need to get something more to drink.